Almost every Volkswagen owner follows the maintenance schedule printed in their owner's manual, changes the oil roughly when the dashboard tells them to, and assumes that is enough to keep a Golf, Jetta, Passat, Tiguan, or Atlas running well past 200,000 miles. What almost nobody does, and what a small handful of long-term owners and independent Volkswagen technicians quietly rely on, is a short list of proactive habits that never appear on a factory service schedule at all, because acknowledging them would mean admitting some factory intervals are built around minimum warranty coverage rather than maximum engine life. These are not expensive upgrades or aftermarket gimmicks. They are habits that cost very little and take very little time, and the drivers who use them tend to be the ones still driving the same Volkswagen a decade later with remarkably few repair bills. Independent shops that specialize in Volkswagen and Audi repair see the same pattern year after year. The cars that come in for catastrophic, expensive failures are almost never the ones whose owners were doing a little extra along the way, and the cars that keep coming back for nothing more than routine oil changes tend to belong to owners who quietly adopted every habit on this list. Here is what that small group actually does differently. Trick number 1. Changing DSG fluid long before Volkswagen's lifetime claim. Volkswagen has told owners for years that the DSG dual-clutch transmission fitted to the Golf, Jetta GTI, and Tiguan comes filled with fluid designed to last the life of the vehicle, meaning no scheduled change ever appears on the maintenance sheet. Independent transmission specialists who work on these cars every week tell a very different story once the car passes somewhere around 40,000 to 60,000 miles. DSG fluid does two jobs at once: lubricating internal components and providing the exact hydraulic pressure the clutch packs need to engage smoothly. As that fluid breaks down with heat and mileage, shifts get slightly rougher. Hesitation creeps in at low speeds, and in the worst cases, mechatronic unit failures show up costing well over $2,000 to repair. A fluid and filter change every 40,000 miles, run through an independent shop rather than a dealership that will often recite the lifetime fluid line, costs a small fraction of that repair bill. The 3% of owners who actually do this tend to be the same owners posting on Volkswagen forums about their transmission still shifting like new well past 150,000 miles, while owners who trusted the lifetime fluid claim are frequently the ones asking why their DSG suddenly feels clunky at 80,000 miles. It helps to have the filter changed alongside the fluid rather than the fluid alone, since a clogged filter restricts the exact pressure the mechatronic unit depends on to fire each clutch pack precisely, and a shop skipping the filter to save money on the service is quietly undermining the entire point of doing it in the first place. Trick number 2. Replacing the timing belt and water pump ahead of schedule. Certain Volkswagen and Audi engines, including several TDI diesel variants and some earlier TSI gas engines, use a timing belt rather than a chain, and that belt drives the water pump at the same time. Volkswagen's official interval for this service typically falls somewhere around 100 to 120,000 miles, depending on the exact engine and model year, and it is one of the most commonly ignored services on the entire vehicle. Many newer TSI and EA888 engines have since moved to a timing chain instead, so the first step for any owner is simply confirming which type their specific engine uses, since a chain-driven engine does not carry this same risk in the same way. The handful of owners who treat this proactively do not wait for the exact mileage number to hit before scheduling the job, because a belt or water pump failing early due to age, heat cycles, or a small coolant leak going unnoticed can allow the belt to snap or slip while the engine is running. On an interference engine, meaning the pistons and valves occupy the same physical space at different points in rotation, that single failure bends valves and can require a full engine rebuild costing thousands of dollars, turning a routine few $100 service into a catastrophic repair bill. Independent Volkswagen and Audi specialists frequently recommend moving the interval up by 10 to 15,000 miles on vehicles that see a lot of short trips, extreme heat, or stop-and-go traffic, since belt degradation accelerates under those conditions, even though the odometer has not caught up yet. Owners who bought a used Volkswagen without a clear service history are especially exposed here, since there is no way to know how the previous owner drove the car or whether this service was ever performed at all. Specialists generally recommend treating an unknown history as though the belt is already near the end of its life, scheduling the replacement proactively rather than gambling on records that may not exist. Trick number 3. Manually cleaning carbon buildup on direct injection engines. Volkswagen's direct injection engines, including the widely used EA888 found across the Golf, GTI, Jetta, Tiguan, and Passat, spray fuel directly into the combustion chamber rather than across the intake valves. That design improves power and efficiency, but it also means there is no fuel constantly washing carbon deposits off the back of the intake valves the way older port-injected engines naturally experienced. Over tens of thousands of miles, oil vapor from the engine's crankcase ventilation system settles on those valves and slowly bakes into a hard carbon layer, gradually restricting airflow into the cylinders. Most owners never notice anything until the car starts hesitating, misfiring, or losing noticeable power, at which point the fix is a walnut shell media blasting service that manually strips the carbon off each valve, typically costing several $100s. The small percentage of owners who stay ahead of this either schedule a preventive walnut blasting service around every 60,000 to 80,000 miles before symptoms appear, or run a quality top-tier fuel consistently, along with occasional intake cleaner treatments designed to slow the buildup, both far cheaper than waiting for a full valve cleaning after the engine is already running rough. A less commonly known preventive step is confirming that the positive crankcase ventilation system itself is not leaking excess oil vapor in the first place, since a worn PCV valve or diaphragm accelerates carbon buildup far faster than normal, meaning some owners keep paying for carbon cleaning every few years without ever fixing the actual source of the problem. Trick number 4, greasing brake caliper slide pins once a year. Every time a brake pad wears down, the caliper needs to slide freely on its mounting pins to keep even pressure across the rotor. Volkswagen does not list slide pin lubrication as a standalone scheduled service, so it typically only happens by accident whenever a brake job is already being performed for another reason, sometimes leaving years between actual lubrication. When those pins gum up with dried grease, road grime, and rust, a caliper can start dragging slightly on one side, wearing that pad down noticeably faster than its opposite side, pulling the car subtly to one side under braking, and in more advanced cases, overheating the rotor enough to warp it. Most drivers write this off as normal wear rather than recognizing it as a caliper that simply needs a $5 tube of brake grease and 10 minutes of attention per wheel. Owners who catch this early, having a shop pull each wheel once a year specifically to clean and re-grease the slide pins rather than waiting for the next full pad replacement, tend to report noticeably longer pad life and rotors that stay true for far longer, at a service cost that barely registers compared to replacing warped rotors and unevenly worn pads. This matters even more on Volkswagens that sit for extended periods, since parked cars are exactly where slide pins seize most often, the grease hardening in place while the vehicle sits unused. Owners with a second car in the garage that only comes out on weekends tend to find this particular problem more often than daily drivers do. Trick number 5, clearing the sunroof and cowl drain tubes. Volkswagens equipped with a sunroof, which spans a large share of the Golf, Jetta, Passat, Tiguan, and Atlas lineup, route rainwater and condensation away through a set of small drain tubes running down through the door pillars toward the rocker panels. Leaves, pollen, and general debris collect at the drain openings around the sunroof track over time, and Volkswagen does not include clearing them anywhere on the standard maintenance schedule. When those tubes clog, water backs up instead of draining, and the first sign is often a mysterious wet headliner, water pooling in a footwell after a rainstorm, or a musty smell that never quite goes away no matter how many times the carpet gets cleaned. By the time an owner notices the smell, water has often already been sitting against carpet padding and electrical connectors for weeks. The habit that almost nobody practices is popping the sunroof open once or twice a year and using a length of soft plastic tubing, or simply compressed air, to clear each of the 4 drain points. A 5-minute task that costs nothing and prevents what can become thousands of dollars in water damage to carpet, wiring, and electronic modules mounted low in the vehicle. Owners in regions with heavy tree cover or seasonal pollens tend to need this checked more than twice a year, since debris accumulates far faster under a canopy of trees than it does for a car parked in an open lot, and a quick visual check of each drain opening takes only a moment longer than the clearing itself. Trick number 6, lubricating door check, straps and hinges. Every time a Volkswagen door swings open and holds itself at a given angle, a small check strap mechanism inside the door hinge is doing that work. And like any mechanical part with metal moving against metal, it needs lubrication to keep functioning smoothly. It is not listed on any factory service interval, and most owners only think about their door hinges once they start squeaking loudly enough to be embarrassing in a parking lot. Left dry for years, the check strap mechanism wears down internally, eventually causing the door to stop holding its position reliably, drifting shut on a slight incline or refusing to stay open in the wind. A repair that on some models requires replacing the entire hinge assembly rather than a simple lubrication. A A small tube of white lithium grease applied to the hinge pins and check strap mechanism roughly once a year. A job that takes about 5 minutes per door prevents nearly all of this wear. It is one of the cheapest and easiest items on this entire list, and also one of the most commonly ignored, since a quiet door does not feel like something worth maintaining until it suddenly is not quiet anymore. The same lubrication habit applies to the trunk or liftgate struts and hinges, particularly on the Atlas and Tiguan, where a heavier rear hatch puts extra strain on those mechanisms, and a dry, squeaking hatch is often an early warning sign that the hardware inside is wearing faster than it should. Trick number 7. Using full VW 502.00 or 504.00 spec oil every time. Volkswagen publishes specific oil specifications, most commonly VW 502.00 for many gasoline engines and VW 504.00 for the newer low-ash formulations required by engines with particulate filters, and using an oil that does not meet the exact spec, even if it carries the correct viscosity number, can cause real long-term problems that do not show up immediately. Generic oils that do not meet the ash content requirements can contribute to faster clogging of gasoline particulate filters on newer models, while oils lacking the correct additive package for these engines have been linked to increased timing chain tensioner wear on certain EA888 engine variants, a repair that can run into thousands of dollars if the chain stretches enough to affect valve timing. The habit that separates careful owners from everyone else is simply confirming the exact VW specification number on the bottle before every single oil change, rather than trusting a quick lube shop to have the correct fluid on the shelf and keeping the receipt or spec sheet on file in case a warranty claim ever requires proof that the correct oil was used throughout the vehicle's life. This becomes especially important at quick lube chains that stock a single generic full synthetic oil for every make and model on the lot, since an oil that meets the right viscosity number without meeting Volkswagen's actual specification can still technically go into the engine, and most of the time nobody at the counter will mention the difference unless specifically asked. Trick number 8. Replacing coolant on a time interval, not just mileage. Volkswagen's coolant, the G13 or G13 successor formulations used across most current models, is rated for a long service life. But that rating assumes a certain number of years just as much as it assumes a certain number of miles. A car driven gently and infrequently can rack up very few miles over several years, while the coolant itself still ages and gradually loses its corrosion-inhibiting properties. The corrosion inhibitors in coolant break down chemically over time regardless of how much the car is actually driven, and once they degrade, aluminum components inside the cooling system, including the water pump housing and radiator, become vulnerable to slow internal corrosion that a simple visual coolant check will not reveal until damage has already begun. Owners who track coolant age by date on the service record, rather than only by the mileage-based interval printed in the manual, tend to catch this before it becomes a cooling system leak or a failed water pump, testing the coolant's pH and freeze protection every few years, even on a car that barely gets driven, and replacing it on a time basis whenever those readings start drifting out of spec, regardless of what the odometer shows. The bottom line: every one of these 8 habits shares the same quiet theme. They cost very little money and very little time, and none of them appear as a mandatory line item on Volkswagen's official maintenance schedule. That absence is exactly why so few drivers ever adopt them, since it is easy to assume that if a dealership does not require it, it must not matter. The small percentage of owners who do these anyway, the proactive DSG fluid change, the early timing belt and water pump service, the carbon cleaning, the caliper grease, the drain tube clearing, the door hinge lubrication, the correct oil specification every single time, and coolant replaced on a time interval rather than mileage alone, are consistently the ones still driving the same Volkswagen well past the 200,000-mile mark with remarkably few surprise repair bills along the way. None of it requires special tools or dealership pricing, just a willingness to do a little more than the minimum the manual asks for, and a shop willing to actually perform these services rather than reciting the factory schedule word for word. A 10-minute conversation with an independent Volkswagen specialist about which of these habits make sense for your specific model, mileage, and driving conditions is usually enough to build a realistic plan, rather than trying to do all 8 at once. Which of these 8 have you actually been doing? And which one are you adding to your own maintenance routine after today? Subscribe for more of the maintenance habits that separate a Volkswagen that lasts from one that quietly falls apart right on schedule.